welcome to our first edition of Chamber Chat. My name is Amy Holthouse, and I am coming to you from the Chamber of Commerce, and we will be discussing with you the exciting events that are happening at the Chamber over the next months. We'll be here once a month talking about events and programs and all the exciting things we have going on. I have with me today John Schuerman of WCTV. Welcome, John.
Thank you.
It's great to have you with us.
Glad to be here.
John is here as a part of our One Great Community Salutes program that we do at the Chamber, where we honor one person a month as a Chamber champion. That person is typically someone that does things behind the scenes, that doesn't typically get recognized by the public. Most people don't even know that they're there or what they're doing. John was our first Chamber champion this year for the month of May, and he is an employee here at WCTV and has made his life's work putting other people on the camera. So we decided to turn that around on him and put him in the highlight for once. So John, congratulations on that award.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'd like to thank my former boss, John Dalton, he's the one who, I guess, nominated me. And
yes, he did.
Appreciated that. I want to thank him again for that.
I'm sure he'll appreciate that as well. How did that feel to have that change where everyone's kind of focused on you for a while and you're not behind the camera?
Well, it was a little strange because I don't do this side of the camera very well.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people who just likes to work behind the scenes, get things going, and I guess I appreciate the recognition, but I'm not particularly looking for it. I just want to make sure it happens.
Yeah. Well, and you're out there in the community at a lot of events and things that people probably don't realize. What are some of the things that you have put on TV for us here?
Well, of course, I was originally involved in a lot of the government meetings that appear on Channel 11 here. But I've also been involved in the Walk of Fame, programs, the dedications of people being honored for the Walk of Fame. Been involved with the SOS Jamborees early on. Good heavens, what all has there been?
A long, long list.
Yeah, it really
you've
is.
Been here for quite some time, too.
How many
years?
Yeah, it's been close to 20 years
20
now.
years? That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you've probably also helped and seen and groomed a lot of students and other volunteers.
Yeah, a lot of volunteers and of course just also bringing WCTV along, because when we started out we were one channel.
Wow.
And we originated from the high school because this was before the whole system was rebuilt, and that was the only place that a feed from any place from the community was available. So we were located over in a very tiny room at the high school with heat pipes going through the room, and winter or summer it was always hot in there.
Sure.
And then once the rebuild came along, we moved out here to IU East. This is actually our third location. Wow. But at that time, a second channel was made available to us, and then later on the third channel.
That's fantastic. I know a lot of groups in the community take advantage of the opportunities out here, and a lot of that is due to your hard work and the growth of the channels.
Yeah.
So that's great. Well, thank you so much for being with us
Well,
today,
you're welcome.
John. I really appreciate you taking the time and energy to be here and let us put the camera on you for a while.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Our next guest with us this morning as a part of the One Great Community Salutes program, we have Chamber Champion Barbara Belfast. Welcome, Barbara.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Barbara was our winner for the month of June this year, and her nomination came to us from Catherine McConaughey, who had received a letter from Michelle Hilbert and her son Mason. Mason is Barbara's study buddy and now mentor, who she's been with for quite some years through the Study Buddy program at Richmond Community Schools. How did you get started in that program, Barb?
Elaine Mullenkoff, who started this 21 years ago, came to one of my meetings of my PEO that I belonged to. And I had just retired from Reed Hospital at the time and was looking for something. And so I thought, well, this may be it. So that's when I joined it. And so that was 8 years ago.
8 years ago. And how did you get connected with Mason?
Elaine. Elaine does the matching up.
Okay.
And I started with him in first grade.
And how old is Mason now?
He is going into the 8th grade. He's 14.
Great. So you've been together with him in that program all those years with the same student.
Right.
So there's
Yeah, I
consistency.
stayed with the same one.
Yeah. Is that common with the study buddy
I thought it was,
program,
but
or?
when I was talking to other people, I guess it isn't. So I don't know. There's over 500 volunteers that work with the children in the different schools, and they cover all the schools.
Okay. Well, fantastic. Now, within that program, do they themselves have recognition
Yes,
ceremonies or banquet?
we have a banquet at the end of the year.
Okay.
In April usually, where they actually have nominees that get plaques and awards for their years of service. And we have, I think it's 5, 10, 15, and now 20 years of service.
Wow.
And we've had I've met some wonderful volunteers, and they come from all walks of life: police department, fire departments, teachers themselves, because Michelle became a mentor after I started mentoring her son. And there are, you name the walks of life, lawyers, everyday moms at home, just like me, and that type of thing.
So it's not necessarily something that requires so much time away from a job.
Half hour.
Someone can.
They come on their lunch hour. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Everybody
it's during
comes.
lunch. So
Yeah, you are assigned, they have the different lunches, and you're assigned their lunchtime. And usually in the beginning when they're young, you read to them while they eat, and then they read to you when they're done eating. That type of a thing to get to know each other.
Okay. So 30 minutes, how often? Once a week? Once a month?
Once a week.
Once a week, okay. So over the 8 years, you once a week had lunchtime with Mason for all that time, and that would explain the connection there, and therefore the nomination for this Chamber Champion Award. You've really become part of their family, it seems.
It is, yeah. I've gotten to know them all.
Okay, and I do know not only is Barb a huge advocate for the Study Buddy program, but she's involved with lots of other volunteer groups in the area. What are some of the other programs that
I'm a Stephen minister at the First Presbyterian Church, and I'm also working at Achieva with Human Rights Committee, and I just do volunteer work in different. I've just redirected my life after retirement.
I was going to say, it sounds like
I can't
you've
think of
hardly retired, but maybe just not.
Right.
From
I still
your
do some of
profession.
my nursing when somebody needs some help and that type of thing. So I'm still practicing. It's just I'm not getting paid.
Okay, well that's great. Well, you truly are an example of what it means to be a chamber champion, and we're proud that we could present you that award. And thank you for joining us this morning.
And I also would like to thank Michelle and Mason for nominating me, and for Catherine to carry through on it.
That's great.
I really appreciated that.
I now have with me Alex Cooperwoods, Chamber Champion Award winner for the month of July 2009. Welcome, Alex, to the program.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Glad to have you here with us. Alex is an employee at Kessler's Sporting Goods, but Alex does a number of things around the community that go unseen. He was nominated by an anonymous nomination, which happens at the Chamber as well. So we're not certain who to thank for that great honor, but he's certainly deserving. I do know that when you first came to the community, you became involved with the Chamber almost immediately. Is that right?
Yes, I did. I was very fortunate that I came through Harrington Hoke, which was a Chamber member, and as a result, they encouraged me to get involved with the community immediately. And knowing that that's one of the easiest ways to meet people and get involved, they led me from that to the Lions Club. And of course, the Lions Club motto is "We serve," so it tied in immediately with our situation.
Okay. And Alex came to us from Lafayette, is that right? You
Yes.
moved here a long time ago, right?
1977,
Yeah.
as I unloaded the moving van, they mentioned I would not need any snow shovels, and all of a sudden 1978 came and we had the blizzard. So,
That's
so
right.
it was a
That's
pleasant
right.
surprise.
And that, as I am told, some of the stories come from that particular winter. Your recognition amongst neighbors and friends, you were given an award of some type during that winter for some of your volunteer efforts that wouldn't be noticed by a lot of
No.
people.
Yeah, that was a surprise. One of my neighbors went ahead and awarded the Golden Snow Shovel Award, and we helped a lot of neighbors that year, and continued. As our kids grew up, they decided, well, Dad needs to continue that trade, and in turn they got me a snowblower, and to this date I still surprise folks with having the snow blown off their walks early in the mornings.
And that's all before your regular day job, right?
That's all before my
Yeah.
regular day job.
And
so-
as I'm told, there are lots of other things that you do that go sight unseen, unrecognized amongst your recognized volunteer efforts with the different groups and clubs around town. You're the snow removal guy, the yard mowing guy, and things like that.
yeah.
That's great.
Well,
That's
and we were blessed one time when I didn't have a job for a short period of time that one of the neighbors or someone donated a van. Then in turn, as I ran across someone that needed one, we actually just went ahead and donated that van to that person, and they were able to use it. And every now and then I still see it, so it's
see it
still
around,
running.
it's
I
still
said,
running.
Man, I gave that up, but that's fine.
That's great,
Time to
that's
move
great.
on. So.
Well, Alex is clearly one of the moral fiber and character of the type of person that becomes a chamber champion with the Chamber of Commerce, and we really, really appreciate you being here today, and thank you for all your efforts.
Great. I thank you and the community and my anonymous donor.
That's right. I would like to welcome my guest, Tracy Robinson, today. Welcome, Tracy.
Thank you.
Tracy is our chairman of the board down at the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce, and she also is on our Community Development Committee, Action Committee. That committee is responsible for some wonderful projects here in the area, one of which are the Beautification Awards, which leads to our Community Improvement Awards luncheon once a year. That particular luncheon, I believe they give out several different awards, but the Beautification Awards that go on all year lead up to that program. So with the Beautification Awards, how does the committee decide or go about presenting those, or how is that?
All year long, we keep our eyes on projects that are progressing. We do a few residential projects with that have done landscaping or exterior improvements to their homes, and we'll send postcards to them. On the bigger level, we watch for major projects, either remodel or from the ground up. And each month we have sites that we visit after our monthly meeting that we go to, and we present them with what we call a Beautification Award and thank them for what they've done and to let them know that we have seen and recognized their improvements.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, the committee themselves, do they do the selecting? Do you get nominations from outside? Or
We do get nominations from outside if someone else has noticed it. A lot of times we just kind of keep our eyes open and see what's going on. Some of them are more obvious than others, of course. So we just kind of, the committee, that's part of what we talk about at the committee meeting is what have you noticed and what have you seen. So a lot of them are picked up that way as well.
That's great. Now, the Community Improvement Awards luncheon that's once a year, those Beautification Awards lead into that.
Right.
But then there's a bigger judging process that happens with those awards. Is
That's
that correct?
You will find that a lot of who we present Beautification Awards to during the year will then be also up and nominated for the Community Improvement Awards luncheon.
Okay.
And the other ones that maybe we haven't given Beautification Awards to that are maybe still under construction process, what we do is we pull those from building permits.
Okay.
From the county and the city. It's not just a city-wide, it's county-wide.
Right.
So we have gone to county schools and different major corporations that have built outside of the city. So it's county-wide. So we watch them according to building permits.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's fantastic. Now, that particular awards luncheon is coming up soon. It's September 10th. It'll be held at Forest Hills Country Club.
Right.
Tickets are $18 a person. It's a fantastic event. There's so much positive energy and a lot going on, and it's great to hear about, like Tracy said, the county-wide experience and things that are going on that maybe we don't see or
Right.
recognize or get to drive by
Right.
if it's not on our path. So we would encourage anyone who's interested to come out, call the Chamber 962-1511 or visit our website at www.rwchamber.org to get more information about that. We really would welcome anyone to come. I know that it's a pretty exciting event.
It is, and we have even sold out that event times before because we have several hundred people that attend. Because we like to involve the people at the corporation, but also maybe who they're people that were involved in the contractors that were involved in the project as well.
Right. Now I know there's a special category that goes beyond the bricks and mortar, building,
Right.
construction, and so forth. It's called the Spirit Award.
That's
Is that
correct.
correct?
That's
okay.
correct.
And that's kind of a popular segment that's really exciting for everyone because the essence of it is the Spirit Award, and it's more about the excitement and what it brings to the community as a whole as far as morale and
Right.
and energy.
It's a project that you can't really get your hands on as far as, like you said, the bricks and the mortar, the landscaping and the bricks that way, but they need to be recognized for what they do in the community. And this year, our Spirit Awards, it was tough because a lot of times there's one project that, like last year it was the Model T event, which was the obvious event. This year, we had two to choose from, and it was hard because they were very different events. So we're going to recognize two different projects, one which will be the All-American City, and the other one will be Lemonade Day.
Oh, fantastic.
And the great thing is both of those events involve the children in our community, and so we're excited about having those incorporated into the luncheon this year.
That will be exciting. I'm sure the kids are looking
Yes.
forward to that as well and being
Yes.
recognized, because that's another thing that's not always done enough is recognizing the kids and what they're doing and the things
Right.
that they're helping promote and the positive energy they bring to anything that they do. So
Definitely.
that is fantastic. As far as the committee themselves, are there other projects, other things that are regular that maybe kind of go along the same line?
Right, we have an annual spring cleanup that we do in the spring, and we kind of focus on the main 4 quadrants of the city. We gather at the chamber office on a Saturday morning, and we have lots of volunteers that help us, and we kind of assign different segments for them to go work on. Picking up the trash, we sweep gravel, we get into some interesting things. So that is volunteers, it's chamber volunteers and chamber members that help us and anyone else. So we do that once a year. We also have, to kind of go along with that, the Adopt a Street program, to where certain companies or nonprofits have signed up to take care of a street section to a few times a year. We like for them to 4 times a year to pick up the trash along the streets there to kind of keep it an ongoing process. So the Adopt a Street is one, as well as our annual chamber spring cleanup.
Great. Now the spring cleanup program, that's more focused on the highway sections as you come in and out,
right.
and then the Adopt a Street is more local streets and areas, or
handle more of the city streets at that point in time for the Adopt a Street. So, and they're kind of spread out all over too. But yes, the spring cleanup is more of the 4 quadrants as you're coming into the city from the different directions.
Okay. Now, if somebody wanted to become involved in that program, how would they go about doing that?
Well, I would say to call the Adopt a Street, to call the chamber. We are getting ready to reassign, and we noticed that we have some sections that either need to be renamed by someone, and we need some help. So we do have some locations. So again, call the chamber and see what those locations are, and we try to make them to be close to where someone works, if their company would like to take that on, to where they have a few people. So we try to logistically place them geographically near the company that is sponsoring them.
Oh, that's great. So it doesn't have to be a company, though. It could be an individual
Sure.
or a group of people or whatever. So,
Sure.
so if you're interested in that program, again, give the chamber a call, 962-1511, and get more information about that. I'm sure that the committee would love to have more volunteers, and we certainly like to see our streets clean and areas well taken care of. So.
Right. Yeah, if just taking little bites of it off at a time is helpful without having to do it all at once, one time a year. So if we make it a gradual process, we never know who's visiting us at what time of the year. So we want to make a good impression all the time.
And all around,
Sure.
too, not just specific areas. We need to kind of spread out
Right.
and make sure all areas are taken care
Right.
of. So, now does the committee, Community Development Committee, are there any other things that you would like to highlight or talk about from that perspective, or
Well, we
anything
would
else from the chamber that you'd like to talk about?
Well, we'd like to encourage, if anyone sees anything out there that they would like us to recognize as far as beautification goes, again, residential or commercial, to certainly let us know. We'd be more than happy to recognize them, and we try to keep our eyes on everything. Would also like to encourage attendance at the Community Improvement Awards Luncheon. We have great projects that are up again this year, and this continues to grow and be a great event to network with other
Sure.
businesses as well, which is part of what we do at the Chamber
Yeah.
too. Is a big highlight of
Certainly.
that is
Certainly.
networking among businesses.
And seeing what's going on and all of that. Now, at the awards luncheon, you mentioned the Spirit Awards that will be given, and those have already been revealed, but the others will be a surprise that day.
Right.
They'll be announced, and so a lot of people come in hopes of finding out who those winners are going to be, and so there's a lot of excitement that builds prior to that
Right.
particular moment. So.
And whoever has been selected according to their occupancy permit, everyone's included. And we give out exemplary awards. Some examples of those last year would have been the new Cycling and Fitness Warehouse and Gallows
Okay.
Italian Grill. So those were some examples of who the exemplary winners were last year at our improvement luncheon.
Well, it sounds very exciting, and I'm looking forward to it myself. We'll encourage all of you to join us at the Community Improvement Awards Luncheon on September 10th at 11:30, Forest Hills Country Club. Again, the tickets are $18 a piece, and that includes lunch and the whole program, and it's just a really great, exciting event, and we'll hope that you can join us there. Thank you to all of our guests, and thank you for joining us for our first edition of Chamber Chat. We'll be here each month to update you on Chamber and community events. The Chamber of Commerce has monthly special events and networking opportunities that we invite you to participate in. Go to our website for a calendar of these events. Coming up in October is the Taste of Wayne County at Richmond Square Mall, which you won't want to miss. Sample the best tastes in the Wayne County area all in one location. If you are not a member of the Chamber of Commerce, we have a host of member benefits that include something for every size of business. Contact us at the Chamber for more information or visit our website at rwchamber.org. Thanks again for joining us. I'm Amy Holthouse with the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce, and this has been Chamber Chat.